And today we're talking about those key assets to boost your med spa valuation. Welcome in. Today's theme is one that separates the good spas from the great investments. Today we're talking about how to sell smart, the key assets that book your med spa's valuation. Boost your med spa's valuation. Here's the truth. Most med spa owners think simply selling means wait until you're ready. But the most valuable practices don't wait. They build to sell every single day. Even if you never plan to sell, the same strategies that increase valuation will also increase your profit, reduce chaos, and create freedom. So today we're diving into the 5 key assets that make your spa not just successful, but sellable. These are the same assets that private equity, investors, and high-level partners look for when they assess your value. Financial clarity, team stability, brand reputation, recurring revenue, and operational systems. So let's start with what every buyer looks at first, your numbers. And you don't get the price you want, you get the price you're prepared for. But before we fully jump into the numbers, we have to understand how buyers actually think. Buyers don't buy emotion, they buy evidence. They're not buying your laser machine or your beautiful decor. They're buying predictable profit, solid leadership, and clean systems. If your business depends on you to function, it's not an asset, it's a risk. The buyer's 3 big questions. Can this business grow without the owner? Is it profitable year after year? And are there systems that protect the investment? For example, 2 med spas both gross $1 million a year. Spa A runs on the owner's daily oversights and sticky notes, and Spa B runs on automated EMR reports, memberships, and trained leadership. Spa B will sell for 5 to 6 times the EBITDA, while Spa A will only get 2 times if they're lucky. So ask yourself, if a buyer toured your spa tomorrow, would they see a brand or a business that still runs on you? So let's dive into these 5 core value drivers. These are the assets that make buyers pay more and owners sleep better. So first up, let's talk about those numbers. Financial clarity. Your books are your story. And for most med spas, it can be a scary story, very messy. However, clean financials show a buyer where your money goes and why. Messy books create risk, and risk reduces value. So you need monthly P&Ls that are reconciled and categorized by service type. You want to have clear benchmark KPIs for your labor percentage, COGS percentage, and your EBITDA. Your profitability by service line also needs to be clearly outlined. How do you do this? You need to prepare by conducting a financial audit. So you're first going to organize your data, pull 12 months of financials, reconcile categories, verify consistency, and find out what are your best sellers, what's working and what's not working. Now you want to segment revenue streams. So that's by your injectables, your skin, body, wellness, retail, everything into its own clean segment. Now you can identify your profit drivers, calculate your COGS, your labor, and your gross margin by each service. Flag your top 3 profitable, and then also what are your bottom 3 services that are draining you. We want to highlight what's doing well and take care of what's not doing well. Do we need to just discontinue that service? Is there more training? Regardless, this is that time to clearly identify where you are the most profitable and where your business needs help. These steps will help build transparent books, profitability, clarity, and a dashboard that tracks investor readiness. These small steps will lead to increased value. So for every 10K, you can move from waste to profit. That adds 30 to 50K to your valuation. So let's talk about team stability and leadership next. The buyers don't buy chaos, they buy confidence. Having a high turnover equals a lower valuation. A buyer pays more when the team is stable, can operate without the owner. If you're considering selling, you should have a plan to keep your team through the transition. This means creating a retention or a stay bonus for top performers. You want to train your practice manager or your lead injector to handle all those daily operations. You need to buy yourself time back and create the team that carries your mission forward. You need to step out gradually. The less you do, the more valuable your spa becomes. The average of a 2-year plus employee tenure can increase your valuation 0.5 times. So it's very important to build a good team, and then maintain your team. Put bonuses in place, make it a great environment, but especially if you're looking to sell, you need to put that investment into your team and make sure that they are in alignment and that they will stay. That absolutely will increase your value. Next, let's talk brand and reputation. This is your digital currency. A buyer looks at your online footprint before they ever step in your spa. First, they look at your Google reviews. Next, they check out your website, and now they're hitting your social media channels. You want to score high marks during this audit. This is one of the pillars we can absolutely shine if the proper intention is made. And it will absolutely lose the deal if you're not monitoring your online profile. For example, a Google rating of 4.8 stars with 200 plus reviews, that equals immediate trust. However, lower scores or even having under 100 reviews, those are red flags. It looks new. It looks like you're not really getting the retention and the feedback. So you want to build that profile. Simple things when you're looking at Google leads to your website. Make sure your website has accurate team pricing, address, phone numbers, everything's visible. All of your links actually work. I'm consistently doing audits on clients' digital profiles, and I find missing links all the time. Services that are inaccurate, issues with your website, SEO blogs and stuck on the front page. And then sometimes there's no social links even visible at all on their site. So you want to make sure you address this. A consistent brand tone and imagery builds perceived value. Your social media channels should paint a picture of your practice. Your vision, team, and your services should be displayed in a cohesive, aesthetic manner. As beautiful as your practice is inside, we want to make sure we're showing that on social media as well. So a strong digital presence converts and transfer cleanly at sale. If you have not focused on this aspect of your business, start with a review blitz. Task each provider with a daily review, including their name. Create a 30-day content that aligns with your visual tone and offers. Make your aesthetic, make it look good, make that for the next 30 days, and then so on and so forth. But the very beginning, review blitz, 30-day content, and then audit your website. Look for any edits. Is your SEO working? What are your service keywords? Are your mobile conversions actually working? Does your book now actually work? Do you go to Instagram when you click that button? If you find issues, reach out immediately to correct that. I assure you, not only investors, but patients want your website to work correctly as well. And, everything is digital now. So we want to make sure we're consistently looking at that. Things can happen, and if we see an issue, just reach out immediately and get those corrected. You don't want to leave those sitting on your website. Now we're going to talk some more numbers. Your reoccurring revenue. This is your predictable cash flow. This wins every single time because predictability is power. Buyers pay top dollar for guaranteed, repeatable income. So examples of this would be your memberships, treatment plans with prepaid phases, wellness subscriptions. That can be your IV, peptides, hormones, weight loss, also product auto ship programs. All of these are examples of reoccurring revenue. Deeping dive a little bit further on that is your membership. Audit your current membership. Is it automated through your EMR? Are you paying extra for a third party? Does it include all your exclusive perks? And could it be scaled to multiple locations? Buyers pay for reoccurring, reliable revenue. Memberships are necessary. Memberships and auto pays are proof of sustainability. They are key to showing the ongoing success and predictability of revenue. To show this, you need to first create a membership if you do not have one. So create one and get it rolled out immediately. If you have one and is it successful? If it's not successful, I'm sure your team is not talking about it. So the very first piece of we create the membership, we roll it out. So we want to tell all our patients about it. Our team must be educated on it. If your team is not talking about your memberships are not going to sell. There's no reason for any of your regular VIP patients that are coming every single time to their filler, to their tox, to their laser, to their facial appointments to not be on your memberships. If they're not, it's clearly because your team's not talking about it. So make it a priority, educate your staff, and then after you educate your staff, incentivize your staff for every new sign up. It absolutely will make a difference. hold them accountable, and make sure every one of your patient knows about the perks. Now, once you get this in place, you can track the retention and the average member spend monthly. This will show investors your members are not only paying their monthly fees, but they're consistently spending more, and that is increasing your value. Spas with 30% plus revenue, I'm sorry, reoccurring revenue, they get up to 1 times higher in their valuation than spas that do not. So, one more. We're going to talk about operational systems and data now. So we're going to turn chaos into cash flow. Systems make your spa sellable. An operational structure is what transforms a med spa from being owner dependent to investment ready. Buyers and investors pay for process, not personality. A business that runs on systems, not sticky notes or memory, inspires confidence, protects profitability, and commands a higher valuation. When your operations are systemized, your business becomes predictable. Predictability equals value. So, where do you start? Fully utilize your EMR and your CRM. Make sure your technology works for you and not the other way around. Use tags, retention, and reactivation reports and automated follow ups. Track every lead, your conversion, and rebooking to understand the health of your funnel. Next, we have to build strong SOPs. Document every essential process from front desk check in, consultations, inventory management, payroll, and marketing execution. Your goal is for anyone to step in and run your systems with consistency. Next, we want to track your KPIs at least weekly. Your data is your decision making power. You monitor your key metrics such as conversion rate, your COGS, your payroll, retention, and rebooking rates. Use these metrics in your team meetings so everyone understands the goals, not just the owner. That's one thing I know as consultants we run into where the owner knows exactly what you want to do that month, but your team might not. So you have to share the numbers and you have to help them obtain those numbers, especially if they are not particularly tech savvy or they may not have the time. KPIs are where you want to take that extra time for management and make sure everyone's on the same page. On that same note, we are establishing clear leadership accountability. You need to appoint a manager to lead these conversations, to make sure these reports are happening, to monitor your daily metrics. This drives consistency. The more you can delegate effectively, the more valuable your business comes because it no longer depends solely on you. So now what do? You build an operations Bible. This is your digital playbook, a complete library of SOPs, scripts, checklists, and workflows that define how your spa operates day to day. You need to make sure all roles are assigned. There's an accountability for every single process. Every single process should have an owner. Then you want to review and refine these every single week on your team meetings. We should be reviewing an SOP until that full Bible has been reviewed by your entire team. And then as you continue to grow, just continue to update your SOPs, roll it out at your next meeting. Very easy once you start the process to maintain this. This is also the time you want to streamline your tech stack. This is the time to evaluate your systems. Are there redundancies or platforms that overlap? A clean, integrated tech stack reduces errors, improves reporting accuracy, and makes your business easier to transition during a sale or a partnership. Simplify wherever possible. The less chaos, the more clarity, the more money. If you could leave for 30 days and your spa would still run, you are ready to sell. So now, how do you put it all together? Let's bring everything full circle with the Sell Smart formula. In short, it all comes down to what I call the 3 Ps: profit, predictability, and professionalism. That equals value. This is the framework buyers and investors use, and it's how you should measure your own readiness. So the true formula is your EBITDA times multiple, which is driven by the 3 Ps, equals your business value. So let's break that down. Your EBITDA is your earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. It is simply a measure of your company's true operating performance and profitability. It reflects the earnings from your core business activities while excluding all things like taxes, your loan interest, or any kind of accounting adjustments. It gives the cleanest, clearer picture of your cash flow and your operational health. And so once you know your EBITDA, you understand where it's coming from. The next question is what multiple can you earn from your business? So that's going to depend on anywhere between 2 to 6 for the average med spa, and it's directly influenced by your 3 Ps. And those 3 Ps are profit. That is your financial performance, a clean, normalized EBITDA. After paying yourself fairly, buyers pay for real profitability, not inflated numbers or owner adjusted figures. A transparent, consistent profit builds trust and drives a higher valuation. Next P is the predictability, that reoccurring revenue and retention. Predictability is what buyers crave. Memberships, prepaids, rebookings, and strong patient retention create dependable monthly cash flow. A predictable business lowers risk, and lower risk equals a higher multiple. Professionalism, systems, team, and brand. That professionalism is the polish left behind the profit. It is your systems, your leadership structure, your brand reputation, and that clean digital footprint. A professional operation signals that the business is organized, scalable, and transferable. So a real world example, say we have 2 med spas that are now at a 250,000 annual profit. Owner A, they are very dependent. It is just them, no memberships, no systems. So maybe they'll get a 2 times multiple, so 500,000 valuation. Spa B, they are systemized. They have a membership. They have strong leadership and brand recognition. They could get 4 times. So that's going to be now $1 million valuation. So same profit, but double the value. And that's the power of selling smart. Ask yourself, if someone tried to buy my spa tomorrow, what's my strongest asset and what's the one area I need to fix first? And when you focus on strengthening all 3 Ps, your profit, your predictability, and your professionalism, you're not just preparing to sell, you're building a business that's worth more, runs smoother, and gives you freedom today. So, as we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Selling smart isn't just about preparing for an exit. It's about creating a business that performs at its highest level every single day. And when you build financial clarity, you make smarter decisions. When you invest in team stability, your business runs without chaos. And when you strengthen your brand and reputation, you attract higher value clients and buyer confidence. When you develop those reoccurring revenue streams, you secure predictable profit month after month. And when you systemize your operations and your data, you protect the engine that powers it all. So, whether you plan to sell next year or never, building these 5 key assets gives you the freedom, control, and higher profit. That's the real definition of value, not just for a buyer, but for you as the owner. So keep building with intention, leading with clarity, and remember, no systems, no sale. And when you have all 5 in place, you're not just running a med spa. You're running a valuable, sellable business that investors, partners, and even you would probably and proudly buy that again. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, key assets to make sure you get the most out of reselling. And again, these things will help you. It's end of month, just ended, end of year for all of us. So I know as consultants, we're asking you to pull all this data and put these systems in place now. But absolutely, if you're looking to sell, it's very key to start doing these things now. I want to pop over and just say hi to our Instagram viewers that came on. So we have, let's see, Mercedes, Sarah, we have Bella from Wellness, Microjet, Ginger Spice. Thank you all for joining with us today. And now if we have any questions, we can open the floor up. You feel free to put those in the chat. Okay. What's the biggest factor that actually increases a med spa's multiple? Is it a profit or predictability? Great question. We want to make sure profit and predictability is there. So really the answer is both. You want to make sure that profit shows your performance, but predictability shows stability. So when you have memberships, auto pay, rebookings, that's really what buyers want to see. They want to see the profit. And if you are predictable, you will have profit. So those 2 Ps usually go hand in hand, but you definitely want to make sure you have both. One's really not more important than the other. They absolutely will go hand in hand. But great question. That's the difference too between getting one or two as your multiple versus 4 to 5 for a business, because again, that's going to just increase your valuation. If you are in this position, you're not consulting with us yet, please set up a strategy session. We're happy to get you ready to sell to the next investor that comes your way. Or if you just really need to scale your business and make sure that we're hitting all these systems, we can absolutely help you with that as well. So I appreciate everyone's time today. Thank you for joining our weekly coaching call. You know, we're here every Wednesday, and we'll see you back again next week. Thanks so much for your time, everyone. Have a great day.